This right back, Charlie's definitely.
It's 2 minutes past 7 p.m. people. I can't lie to you. Like, let me even zoom in. I'm still convinced as to this ain't a penalty. I know VAR, you know, we know about the refs' incompetency levels. We know Arsenal fans are the boys and women who cried wolf. Big up you lot tuned in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And of course, in some cases, good night. Bless up to all of you lot. Yeah, but come on, Miles Lewis-Skelly is clearly a marksman. For whatever reason, there's a bias against him. There's a bias against my football club. Isolated away from this, we could have done things to win the game. And I feel that to be the case 9 times out of 10. But this was scandalous. It started outside the box. Harrison is actually pulling him as well. To even Harrison's credit, and I know, listen, Everton couldn't believe their luck. They did their thing. It's nothing to do with Everton. That man in question, in shot, not the Arsenal man. The Everton man didn't even believe it was one. I think it's baffling. I do think those are the little things that Miles Lewis-Skelly has to improve defensively, as I expect of an 18-year-old who's been playing for our football club in the first team 8 to 9 months, and he's shown his superb ability and even his mentality, giving away a pen, had that driving run. I just think in terms of body positioning, when to be on your toes, when not to be, when to be flat-footed. I think you could look at the Liverpool game at the Emirates. Obviously, this incident where Kvyat's missed a header and then that's happened. I would say in the League Cup, everybody, including the two centre-halves as well as Lewis-Skelly against Newcastle in the League Cup, there's little isms and schisms. I'd love to see him play in midfield. I'd love to see him drive in the midfield, man. In an ideal world, Rice goes into the 6. Lewis-Skelly goes into the just a centre midfielder on the left-hand side, and we're laughing. And he could still, you know, you could even do it both ways. He could still go out to the left-back position, and you could have the left-back who would have started that game going forward or venturing in. The possibilities are endless, and I think we need to be flexible in the game. But it's baffling. Arteta's going to have the diplomatic stance on if he thinks the ref have it in for Miles Lewis-Skelly. He said, I don't think so. I bet you if you was Mikel Arteta's wife, his cousin, his auntie, or in his close circle, he'd have said something different. But we're not going to blame the referees. And the gaffer himself said, that changes the course of the game, which I'm here to give my opinion. I've seen it 15 times. There's no way, in my opinion, that's a penalty. Because if there is, then O'Brien has to be out and Everton has to play with 10 men. That's clear. That's clear. You know, I said going back to the Brighton game at the Emirates, which I was there. Fair enough. If rules are rules, I think the rest being a twat. But if you think Declan Rice is experienced and he should know better and it's the letter of the law and there's 2 yellow cards, great. My thing is this. Cool. You draw him out. Make sure somebody's sent off every week in the Prem for kicking balls and those things. Because I've seen it many years ago with Martinelli. I've seen it with this. The referee, even decisions that were going for and against us, Everton as well. He was just a series of incompetencies. Even when the man ended the game as well, people, you saw the Everton players saying, what the hell is going on, really and truly? After he gave Everton a free kick for Trossard kicking the air, he ended the game early, then restarted the game where naturally they said there's time on the clock. Now, I think it's incompetent. I think PGML need to be held accountable. But if we say this about every ref, and we say every ref's incompetent, yada, 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 if you've got 10 incompetent referees in the room and they're the ones that govern the games that we know and love, are they incompetent? Clearly, they're doing a good job. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's jarring, though, man. It really is jarring. And I don't know how true, but if this is true, it puts into context. He was also the same PGMOL VAR referee who did not overturn when Miles Lewis-Skelly was sent off against Wolves. I ain't saying there's a conspiracy, but sometimes 1 + 1 = 2, innit? Really and truly. I don't know, man. Should we see what Trossard had to say after scoring? And I think he should have either scored or assisted just before that chance. He said, I think it's a pity at the end. We wanted to have 3 points in general. We played really well, but how we started the second half wasn't good enough. How we conceded the pen and what led to the goal. Facts. We started the second half crap and Everton were better than us. the sequences of events that led to the decision, rightly or wrongly by the ref. You are told don't give the referee a decision. So there's always something we could do better. I think Trossard summed it up perfectly. And I do think the game was kind of on brand with the issues we have around squad selection, players being run out of steam, the question marks we have about how Mikel Arteta installs greater creativity. Because let's be honest, we didn't really create much. I think there was an effort Rice struck straight into Tarkowski where I think he should have squared it. I think a Rice corner almost went in before they took it off the line. I think Sterling had a shot where he got an assist, credit to him, but he shot like a weak effort. I think Trossard, just before he scored on the break where Declan Rice won the ball, we should have converted. So we're not creating that much because we're remembering the isolated incidences, and we could have still won the game regardless, like against Wolverhampton bitched about this, but we weren't good enough in the second half. And I don't know what the players that Everton were with us and then us was doing, because we started the game much better than them. We did not start the second half as good as them. So a draw is probably on brand, people, if I'm honest. And it's a tough place to go. We all know in the greatest of games, the age-old law, whether you play football at non-league level, Sunday league level, all the way up to the Premier League or the upper echelons of the Premier League and Champions League, you need to kill games before they kill you. So I do think in many ways that game was just a microcosm of what we've seen week in, week out, but it is what it is. You have to put these games to bed, especially when it's a tough place to come. When you go 1-0 up and it's all in our favor, then it's up to us to really turn the game into our own hands. I think that's what we lack today. I'm happy with the goal again. It's always nice to be on the score sheet and help the team move forward. I think we tried that move before, that one a couple of times. Before, it was a good link up between me and Raheem. He found me well, and then it's up to me to try to get the ball in the back of the net. That's what I did, and it was a very good finish, to be fair, from you, Trossard. Very good finish, man. On the Real Madrid game, which is now where we turn our attentions, people, generally as Arsenal fans, I'm very excited. It's a big game for us. I think everyone is up for it, not just us as players, but the fans as well. I think and hope the atmosphere will be electric, because that's what we need. We know how they are. They have the most Champions League wins in history. We know what we're up So we know what we're up again. I think they mean against. Smash the like button. I hope the atmosphere will be electric, because we're going to need it. The first game is at home, so hopefully we can have the advantage there. If they're electric, that gives us the adrenaline. That's what we need. Yep. And you also need to do what you need to do from a tactical point of view. Mikel Arteta on the result, people. I think we deserved more, but that's what we got at the end, at a really tough place to come. What they do it really well. Constantly putting the balls into the last line, dealing with direct play and second actions, which we knew going there, the first and second balls would have been vital, especially against the David Moyes side. I think we haven't conceded anything in the game, which was really positive. We're 1-0 up, had some big opportunities going into the spaces. We didn't finish the action in the second half. We didn't start well. We didn't dominate the game. We had to be more aggressive, have more spaces. So we started the opposite. We gave the ball straight to the keeper, direct play again. Trouble again, direct play, and the referee decides to give a pen. That changes the course of the game. And then we went over the part where he said, which I'm here to give my opinion, and after seeing it 15 times, there's no way that, in my opinion, that's a penalty, because if there is, then O'Brien has to be out and Everton has to play with 10 men. That's clear. There's one rule for one team, there's one rule for Arsenal, and then whoever we play against. It's not an Everton thing. After that, again, we dominated the game. We didn't get too much momentum because it's constantly breaking the play, and a big part of that was down to us, because after the direct play, we gave away very cheap free kicks. We had two big chances to win the game. We didn't convert them, so we have to accept the point. And I mean, even Odegaard in the second half, and I'm sure Marino drew a good save from the keeper, and I think Martinelli had a somewhat decent effort as well. But end of the day, you've got to kill the games before they kill you. We know how big the gap is between us and Liverpool, unfortunately. Sorry, people, I'm thirsty, man. Merit to Liverpool, the way they are winning their football matches. And imagine if we did our job against Everton and they were still starting to play for the Prem, and with what we saw with Fulham and Liverpool, boy, I'm talking about a reflection of what happened today and what was really relevant for the score. There's no question that apart from that, they had nothing, but obviously that changes completely the momentum and the results. We went over the Martinelli thing on the changes to the starting 11. There were 4 players that couldn't start the game after what happened with Fulham, and obviously the injury to Gabby. So that forces you as well to make some changes. Players deserve to play minutes, so I'm happy with that. Everyone has to be important, has to feel important. They have so many games coming up right now, and we have to rely on all of them. I would say with the subs at halftime with Martinelli and Saka, I do think we're trying to get some more minutes into the legs of Martinelli, but I think Nwaneri's substitution was, it was a bit quiet, but it was, I think that Arteta always planned to give Saka 45 minutes. It's quite predictable. 20-30 against Fulham, 45 against Everton, probably starts against Real Madrid. Maybe harsh on Raheem Sterling, but I think Raheem Sterling's one is more isolated to that 45 minutes at the time. That's the change. So yeah, we saw that happen, people. So it is what it is. And we know we've got a lot of games. We thought this might be, but not for what was happening on Tuesday, but because some of them haven't trained, they haven't had the opportunity to start the game. On if Saka can start on Tuesday, he's in a much better place. Obviously, we have built that up. He played 30 minutes against Fulham. Today, he's played 49. Undefeated. We smash the like button if you haven't. Pardon me, a little bit less because we saw the end of the game, and after that, he'll be in a much better place. On who will play left centre back against Madrid. We have alternatives there. What is the alternatives? You could move Saliba there. Timber could go there. White could go there. Extreme, but Declan Rice there. I would probably say for me, I would love Tierney. You know, in an ideal world, I'd love something different. I don't think it's going to happen, but is there a way to get Lewis Skelly in midfield? Is there a way to, get Tierney at left back? Maybe, I don't know. But I would like to see, with how I think Arteta is going to approach it, Lewis Skelly left back, Timber right back. Either move Saliba to the left-hand side of the centre-half pairing and go with Benjamin White, because don't get twisted, Kivior's still going to have, there's not going to be able to play 90 minutes, whether that's Martinelli, whether that's Saka, whether that's Miles Lewis Skelly, whether that's Timber, whether that's Ben White, with what we know, even a Mikel Merino, for different reasons. Other players can get other minutes here and there. So the team that starts, even for Arteta, he's going to have to be a bit cute and clever with these two Real Madrid games, with how we target from a personnel and tactical point, and all the other connotations and the psychological effects at the Bernabeu and at the Emirates. And let's not forget that it is my birthday week next week, 13th of April, people. But on the 12th of April, we will obviously be playing against Brentford away. So clearly the league's gone. Clearly the priority is the two legs, but you get the point, people. But it's interesting. I mean, even if I think it's going to, I actually think it's going to be Kivior, but we have alternatives there. Today, we have players that haven't played together, so that cohesion hasn't been there. Ben especially hasn't played at all almost this season, played 16 games to be fair. So it's good that they have minutes, and that understanding will assess what best options for that back line. On how Mikel Moreno is, he's fine. I just checked with the doctors. He had a cut. He was bleeding quite a lot in the first half. Then he started again. So overall, he wasn't feeling anything. Hopefully, he's good and he didn't need any scars. At this moment in time, we have no other injury concerns. On this being the last game at Goodison Park, listen, big up Goodison Park, big up Everton. I'm sure their fans are both optimistic about what their new stadium brings, and also, sad to see Goodison Park and the heritage go. But as an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't say get used to it, because even when I walk to the Emirates, you see what used to be Highbury, now flats, and you do reminisce for a second. And with what we've experienced at the Emirates, the good, bad, the ugly, and all this stuff in between, it does make you wonder. So big them up. On Tuesday night, it's one of the most it's one of the most beautiful games that you can play in the highest European competition against the team that has dominated that competition in the last 20, 25 years. So really looking forward to it. On if we'll rest ahead of the game, we have to train and prepare a few things, but tomorrow we'll have some time to rest and start preparing really well for the game, because we're looking forward to that game. Praise the Lord that it's at home as well, man. There'll be a bit of logistical traveling. So yeah, man, it was never a penalty. Gaffer, I think you're right on that, man. Oh, you can see I was rattled, didn't it? I was ready to talk about it. Shout out Mikel Merino, though. First Arsenal player to win 8 aerial duels in the Premier League in the last 9 seasons, people. He won 14 of his duels, 8 of the 9 aerial duels, 1 possession 6 times, and 4 touches in the well, I just think he had a good game, if I'm honest. I think he had 2 good games this week, man. Trossard, well, I can't read it if it doesn't load. Trossard has now been directly involved in 10 plus goals in each of his last 5 Premier League seasons. So shout out to him, people. Even Mike Dean believes it was a soft penalty, and that's only because you're A, retired referee, and B, you're not in PGMOL's pocket. I think the only the referees that want to run become celebs and social media kind of dons, they're the only ones I see honest. If you were still in bed with PGMO, you play quite coy in it, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, our last 10 results at Goodison Park haven't been nice, and we've got 1 win in 5, 6 actually. We're in the last 6. It's not really pretty, is it, people? That's 3 losses, a win, and a draw, if my maths is right there. So yeah, man. Martin Keown said there's still enough there in brackets for Arsenal to cause a major upset for Madrid. I would wonder what, do some of you think like this? Shout out the bottom corner. Many who have watched Real Madrid know they are not as good as they used to be. Today is another confirmation. We have a good chance against them. If we turn up, we have a massive chance. What do you lot feel about that? Away from that, people, allegedly Arsenal have been tipped to make 5 big signings this summer. Now new sporting director Andrea Berta is at the helm. That is being said by Guillaume Balaguer. What do you mean? Again, going back to player union, there's been 119 hamstring injuries in the Premier League. That's an average of 4 injuries to the muscle each game round. God knows where it'd be for all competitions, because you saw Musiala for Bayern Munich instantly, like they said he's out for for 8 weeks. So that's his season done. And you look at the games, people, it's mad. It's mad. What do you lot feel about that, man? You know, Marino missed 11, Timbers missed 12, Zinchenko's missed 13, Magalhaes missed 15. When did this start? Odegaard missed 15, Tierney 18, 23 from Kai, and also Saka, also Calafiori, 26 from White, 27 from Gabriel Jesus, 55 from Tomiyasu. When is this? When are they calculating all of that? I don't know, people. Andrea Burr, as you don't know, was at Goodison Park for the Everton game. I wanted you lot's thoughts on this. POV. You are the sporting director of your club. You have to choose one of these 7 strikers. Who would you choose? You have Osman, Isak, Gyökeres, Hugo Ekitike, Sesko, David, and Delap. Now, obviously, I think many people would have said Isak. Now, let's ignore Isak and have a bit of fun. In fact, let's ignore Isak. Then it would be Gyökeres / Sesko for me. Isak, dream, number 1. Number 2, Gyökeres. Number 3, Sesko. No. If money ain't anything, number 1, Isak. Number 2, Sesko. Sorry, number 1, Isak. Number 2, Gyökeres. Number 3, it's a tie between Osimhen and Sesko. But I'll say Osimhen because that signing would tell me it's like win now mode. Then it'd be Sesko. Then it'd be Liam Delap. No, then it'd be Sesko, then it'd be Hugo Ekitike, then it'd be Liam Delap. I'm not really on the Jonathan David thing, so he'd be last, man. Gyökeres is open to him. Oh, what's going on here? You're messing up my flow. Viktor Gyokeres is open to a move to Arsenal. The Gunners are set to open talks with Sporting after identifying the Swede as a more attainable option than Isak. He's understood to be impressed with the Arsenal project, allegedly, people. What have we got next? It's going to be a big transfer window for us. We are very excited. Mikel Arteta did say that. Gyökeres is ready to make Arsenal his priority this summer after being impressed by talks with the Gunners this week. And also, if we skip forward, Sporting, which could be crucial, would be willing to lower their asking price for Gyökeres from 85 million to around 59 million, with Arsenal and United still interested. Now, we've also seen that apparently Saudi Arabian clubs are involved, and simply put, Sporting are going to sell to whoever offers the most money up front. Now, again, in terms of the whispers, which are the transfer market, Football Transfers understands that Viktor Gyokeres' reps will be in North London this week. The Swedes' agents will be in attendance at the Emirates on Tuesday when Arsenal host Real Madrid in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final tie. This has added... How do we know he doesn't just want to see a good game of football? This has added fuel to growing speculation that the Gunners are preparing to make a serious move for the prolific Swedish forward in the upcoming summer transfer window. Arsenal's interest in the Sporting striker has intensified over the past week following the appointment of Sporting director Andrea Berta. The Italian is believed to be leading the charge, having identified Gyökeres as his top target for the summer transfer window. Berta, known for his sharp recruitment strategy during his time at Atletico Madrid, is eager to begin his tenure by bolstering Arsenal's attacking options and sees Gyökeres as one of Europe's top strikers after previously identifying him at Atleti. While not completely out of the ordinary, the timing of the 26-year-old's reps visit to such a marquee fixture only adds to the belief that negotiations may soon begin to take shape as Arsenal position themselves at the front of the queue for one of the continent's most coveted. However, Arsenal are not the only side with concrete interest in Gyökeres. Since early December, Football Transfers has been exclusively reporting that Newcastle also consider him a priority target. But they've got Isak. Initially, the interest was driven by fears over Alexander Isak, who is still regarded as Mikel Arteta's dream target for Arsenal. However, after winning the League Cup, Newcastle have made it very clear that a potential departure to their star striker is totally out of the question. Yet the interest in Gyökeres remains, and sources have informed us that Newcastle are plotting an ambitious move to reignite Isak with his international strike partner. Well, we'll have to see. Gyökeres has yet to make a final decision on his destination, but there's a feeling he would favour a move to Arsenal. As we previously reported, he turns 27 in June and wants to play and challenge for one of the biggest competitions in European football. Newcastle have inquired about Gyökeres on at least 2 occasions, illustrating that they are genuinely interested in the Swede. However, the response they received was one of indecision. Okay, I wonder why that is. Is that because they've got a number 1 marquee striker at Arsenal? If you back yourself as a half-decent striker, you think you're one of the final pieces to the puzzle, surely, people. PSG are the first club to initiate formal contact with Gyökeres, who is also a target for Arsenal and Barcelona, says that source. I don't know how credible it is. If we go up here, if we put Gyökeres instead of Isak, you got Williams, you got Saka, Rice, Odegaard, Zubimendi, Lewis Skelly, and a bunch of other options, and Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and all the other floating options. It does look a bit decent, don't it, people? Whether that will be easy or not, I don't know. Apparently, Arsenal no longer are interested in signing Isaac. If you believe that, I think we will be interested, but we can't sign him. Talks between Newcastle and Isaac have stalled over a new contract, apparently opening the door for a summer Liverpool move, allegedly. Arsenal and Liverpool are both competing to sign Eze, who'd be available for 60 million due to a release clause in his Crystal Palace contract. And he got an assist at the weekend. I believe he's now provided as many Premier League assists in 2024-25 and as he managed in the previous 2 seasons. So is his uptake improving? I mean, it's not that great. And for the money they're going to ask, obviously you can't just use the eyes, but it is what it is. We all know we're not signing Ryan Cherky, but he has a 25 million release clause in his contract. Apparently Spurs and United are among the interested clubs. I didn't think we'd be in for Gyokeres. I thought we'd just paper talk, but it seems like that's advanced. Speaking of release clauses, if and when, because it's still mathematically possible, Ipswich stay up, he could be available for 40 million. What else have we got here, people? Barcelona as well as Arsenal are going to have to compete with Real Madrid, who are preparing to compete with both these clubs over the signing of Espanyol goalkeeper Garcia, people. It's the same names, it appears. Arsenal and Man United have made official offers for Osimhen. Yeah, right. Yeah, bloody right. Deportivo La Coruña winger Jeremy Hernandez is attracting both interest from Arsenal and Chelsea as a 20 million release clause. We've heard his name before. We've also seen this. Arsenal could see as many as 11 players leave the club to help boost their spending power. Zinchenko, Kivior, Partey, Jorginho, Tierney, Tavares, Lokonga, Nelson, Fabio Vieira, Trossard, Tomiyasu, Sterling, and Neto. Liverpool have opened talks with Eintracht Frankfurt's Hugo Ekitike, but face competition allegedly from both Arsenal and Man United. Nico Williams' future looks increasingly destined to end in an almighty fight this summer, with the hostilities stepping up following a meeting between the Athletic Club star and Arsenal sporting director Andrea Berta. The Spain winger has been subject to intense speculation and rumours over his next move for over a year. He resisted interest from Barcelona, Chelsea, and Arsenal to stay at Bilbao. Now Bilbao are preparing to offer a new contract in a bid to secure repeat performance. It is claimed that Arsenal and Barcelona are once again interested in the thrilling winger, while they are joined by Bayern Munich. Chelsea have been tipped to re-enter the talks, while Aston Villa are said to have tested the water for Nico. Allegedly, the Gunners have held talks with Williams' reps and have been put into pole position for a deal by Berta. Pardon me, now is obviously a fight. Interest is being fueled by the bargain 58 million euro release clause, which Athletic president John Urate is hoping to obliterate by getting the 22-year-old to sign a new contract. To be fair, you want to see double that, innit? Because if you're Bilbao, there's no reason you shouldn't be looking at 70, 80, 100 million euros. Smash the like button. They face Rangers in the Europa League. We all know about why he would want to stay and win the Europa League and go out on a high. We all know about the big wages where we're paying big money for certain players that are injured. And if we sign and act in certain areas, someone like Kai Havertz isn't necessarily in the starting 11. And where, we're going to save money with Tierney, Jorginho, Partey leaving. Nelson's still here. Gabriel Jesus is still here. Kai Havertz is still earning a lot of money, and there's probably a lot of things. So we'll have to see how that one goes. But we're hearing the same kind of language. So that's what Gyokeres, Nico Williams, Arsenal willing to offload gold dust player to generate transfer funds. I'm going to take a wild punt, and I haven't read this. God does my witness, I ain't read this. But I think this journalist is being a bit smart because you put gold dust. When you see gold dust, you'd think of Saka and Saliba. With the greatest of respect, I wouldn't say Kivior. Yes, these are both contracted until 2027, but I bet you any money it's about Kivior, who's probably going to play against Real Madrid, played against Everton, going to get that run that he normally gets. He only really gets an extended run in the side when players are not available. Arsenal want to make sure they strengthen their squad in the summer so they can challenge for the Premier League title once again next season. According to courtside sources, Arsenal are ready to offload defender Jakub Kivior for around 25 to 30 million euros. I mean, with your running the side, play well, put yourself in the shop window to increase the budget for the summer transfer window. Described as gold dust by sports reporter Dharma Chef, the Gunners signed the defender in 2022 due to his versatility. Can play as a left back as well as a central defender, but his playing time has been limited this season. The 23-year-old defender attracted the attention of many clubs such as Sevilla, Villarreal, Juventus, AC Milan, Inter Milan, Napoli, Atalanta, Fiorentina, and Bologna during the winter transfer period. Now, I don't know if and when Arsenal would have sold him, apologies, but being interested is one thing. Holding lukewarm talk, speaking to agents and testing the waters with Kivior's camp's another. Now, I'm never going to know this, but he's been linked with moves away really since he started for the club. What offers have been risen up? Because we can all say, yeah, sell Zinchenko. We don't mind the FIFA Trossard. Martinelli the same. Give you all this. Who's had any offers? The greatest clickbait ever, mate. Complete gold, like gold dust. It's great. And of course, naturally, he's looking for more playing time, people. And he's been linked with Bayern Leverkusen. Could be a good move for him. Currently, he's only made 10 Premier League appearances. He's obviously going to make substantially more and play a lot more minutes now. It was the Italians wanting Kivior on loan again, but was there any offers? And it's Arsenal been linked with a bunch of defenders. Mosquera, who I'm sure plays for Valencia. Lukiba, he's doing well. He's going to cost a lot of money from Leipzig or whatever. He's going to cost a pretty penny. Diamande, we've been linked with since his days in Denmark. I'm sure everybody is monitoring the Bournemouth centre half. We were linked with Murillo and definitely would like him left centre half. You know, be good. Joel Hatto, bring him, people. Arsenal striker search turns to Championship wonder kid dubbed the next Jamie Vardy. From what I could see of this Harvey Higgins guy, he can play out wide. He plays for Blackburn in England. He's like 16, 17, 18. One of them ages there. You know what? Bring him in, man, if it makes sense. Apparently, Higgins has caught the eye of sponsors, having signed a contract with sports giant Puma. Arsenal, one of several clubs to be interested in his services. According to the Sun, Serie A clubs are ready to rival Arsenal for the striker. However, the Gunners are hoping to conclude a deal in the next few weeks, which could see Blackburn earn up to 1.5 mil in compensation. That's good. The report adds that Blackburn are also facing a fight to keep 16-year-old defender Silva Eze. What a last name. Eze only joined Blackburn from Accrington Stanley in November, but the Italian youth international is already said to be attracting interest from big clubs. Good for him. Higgins made his debut for Blackburn's under-21s at the age of 15 in December and scored as they drew 4-4 in Preston North End. Eze also made his under-21s, David. That's good, man. So we've been linked with two young G's. Bring them in if they're not going to cost. We're hearing about several players could be sold. We're seeing several players could be sold. We're speculating about several players being sold. We're hearing about this from Berta and all of that. But again, we need to be careful and not comment until we see people arrive. Portuguese media shares exciting Fabio Vieira verdict after watching Arsenal star a new position. Let's see. He's now played 32 games in all comps. I don't know how many minutes. And maybe you would have got that Arsenal, but I reckon on a footballing basis, you've probably played a lot more. He's seen a surge in minutes and responsibility since the Argentinian took over. So, yeah, it's kind of what Foxy, big up Foxy, I know he's here somewhere. He keeps speaking about there was a new manager at Porto and he was struggling under the initial one. Now he's kind of flying. We don't know what's going to happen. Are Porto going to buy him permanently? Has he put himself in the forefront of other clubs potentially being interested? I don't know. Apparently, that being said, Portuguese outlet Correio de Manha have now shared a feature explaining how Vieira has become the most influential player for Porto over the last 7 games. Okay. According to the report, Vieira has gained new life under Aslami's management, playing in a new position, a slightly deeper midfield role. I mean, we know you can play as a 10, as an 8 and out wide. We've seen that before, but are you pulling up trees? He's got 3 goals and 2 assists in those 7 games mentioned. Okay. Does the 24-year-old have a future? At least he's going to have to return to Arsenal at some point. He's contracted until 2027. There's no option to buy in his Porto clause. So, definitely. And again, we're still linked with Zubimendi and Nico Williams, as well as Gyokeres. Talks are being scheduled. Team Talk football transfer insider Fraser Fletcher. Respectfully to Fraser Fletcher, have any of you ever seen him announce some sort of news in relation to Arsenal? Has revealed that this week, in addition to Zubimendi, the Gunners are gaining belief that a deal for Williams is also on the card too. To the end, sources have told Team Talk there's growing confidence at Arsenal that the Bilbao winger will join them this summer. We're trying to land Nico Williams, Gyokeres. You're just seeing the same names essentially being peddled out. Oh, what do you mean? Man said gold dust. Who's this? Arsenal have watched Boubacar Kamara. Aston Villa's Boubacar Kamara. We're not grabbing him. And they're trying to give him a new contract. So is that why he's being linked? I'm sure there's French ties. I'll have him in the squad. He can play centre half as well as in midfield. Could do a job. Contracted until 2027. And as you can see, he's being linked. And we know that, yes, he's cutting a career out in midfield, but we know Jorginho and Partey are going. I don't buy that, people. The ITKs of this world with Nico Williams, I want to know if this is fiction, to be fair. It's a long, we need to be signing Nico Williams because you're going to make me read a long paragraph. But I do this for you, lot. As you are all aware, he has been Arteta's obsession. This is obviously Nico Williams for many moons now. With the decision chambers at Arsenal, this player is viewed as having superstar potential. Let me cut to the chase, though. As reported, Andrea Berta has held discussions with Felix Tanta, in brackets agent. It's now my understanding Berta has received encouragement when discussing a variety of wage/bonus combinations. Talks are still at very early stage, but Nico is very open to joining Arsenal more than ever before. The second, and contrary to popular opinion, is the most difficult part. The release clause is in the region of 50.6 mil. If you think Brighton's Tony Bloom or Napoli's De Laurentiis are tough negotiators, as you should be, then let me reintroduce you to their final boss version, Jean Irate, the president of Athletic Club. When Barcelona attempted to offer installments last summer, Deco received an emphatic no. This is where, in my opinion, Berta will earn his money. Paying 50.6 up front in the modern era is an eye-watering amount if you ask any football finance expert. Clubs will also try to spread out costs, but Arsenal have serious firepower this summer. Can Berta engineer a successful Bass heist? That is the 50.6 million pound question. More to follow. I hope so, but I just want to see us sign players. I think we're overcomplicating the thing and making out this is some conspiracy business, man. If he's a tough negotiator and we hear Berta is, this is why you lot are paid this much money and this is why you lot are held in high regards. Go do your thing in it. So, and if you can get Nico Williams, what not? Do it in it. If you can't, do something else. Notable absentees for the Real Madrid as they traveled to the Emirates to face Arsenal in the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals. There'll be no Lunin, no Militao, no Carvajal, no Mendy, Tchouameni suspended, and Ceballos might not be there, which would have been good to welcome Ceballos back. Would prefer Belemba, big money. The way DG pronounces Bubaka is funny. Damn. Don't mock me or Nuno Emery. Uno Emery, apologies. Fabio ain't got the physicality to play deeper in the Prem. Yeah, bro, I don't want Hato, another centre-back forced to play left-back, then get Ish on because he sucks at left-back. I want Hato, man. If Porto want to put down a pretty penny for Vieira, then I'm down for him to go back. You can take Hato, bring me Gyokeres. Hato is too naive. He's 19, though. He's 19. In the words of DG, Berta looks like he has aura. Every time the camera panned to him, I was like, this guy is serious. All there is talked about now is the hopeful summer. Season is just about over, waiting for the formality after being knocked out by Real Madrid. Be optimistic. How is it an official offer when Arsenal have not said anything? Then you find out, let me know. We're not going to go for Gyokeres now because PSG are interested. 1 minute PSG, then Saudi. All of these, everybody's been interested in him. Everyone's been interested in all of them. Fight your case, pitch. Hope you get over the line. And I hope we do because it's one less question to ask ourselves. If not, make sure you pivot. I don't want to hear we tried. You need to be bringing in bodies. Unpopular opinion, I'd choose Sesko even over Isaac. I think he'll be colossal in a few seasons. I hear that, but Isaac is right now serious. And I know how you're going to help us next season, man. I could see this spell at striker improving Merino's confidence. Probably because, like you said, he feels more important to the squad since he's been bagging goals. And if you're confident in life, you do a bit better. Nice to see him get a little patch. DG about to be big 30, getting on a bit. I remember when I found your channel, you were 27. Go away, mate. I just thought of a good one. 4-1-2-1-2. White, Timber, Saliba, Tini, Rice, Partey, MLS, Odegaard, Saka, Lewis Skelly as the two in the free roll ready on the count. I think that's perfect. I mean, we're going to have to let Arteta earn his 15 mil. Napan also lives in the left half space, and we need a player who excels there. Watching a little bit of Napan yesterday, he's a baller. No one in our midfield is scoring the goals he did besides Norwegian League, though. You still have a chance, man. We lost today. You gained on us this week. They had a player to get a yellow in that game for delaying the restart, but it took him trying to block the pass 3-4 times for him to get a yellow. Apparently, it wasn't deemed a clear and obvious error, but that doesn't hide the fact that it was 50-50. Darren England was the VAR man who all of us sent him off versus Wolves. He had some games where he was superb defensively as well, and he learns fast. Not a pen. Miles can do a bit better, but Kivio as my centre back, you have to deal with that first. Big up yourself, Marvel, man. Smash the like button. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. So it's a big week for us, man. It's a big week for us. It's a massive week for us, man. We're just gonna have to show up to be counted and see what we can do in that regards, man. Like, I hope Berta can do what he needs to do on the transfer front. 2 cup finals against Real Madrid, and we're just fulfilling fixtures, really and truly, unfortunately, where the Premier League's concerned, man. Just give me a win at Anfield at the very least. Sesko or Gyokeres. I like Sesko. I'm not like other people. I think he's raw. I can see why people dislike him. I do have concerns, but I think there's a lot of uptake to Sesko. I think I would, in an ideal world, you get Gyokeres for right now. Sesko is your kind of number 2 striker. I like him, but I just think Gyökeres would tell me that the club is on right now. I do think we're in that trap of we're always building and getting stars for tomorrow, and we never seize the present. You're gonna, he's 26, 27 in June, so this is his not last big move, but quote unquote last big move. The club are telling me, we don't necessarily want someone who can become someone that's scoring goals. We want someone that's been there, done it, wore the t-shirt. And obviously, if we're gonna sign him, or if Berta likes, even if Mikel Arteta likes Sesko more and Arteta likes Gyökeres over Sesko more, they must have had a conversation like, okay, you want Sesko, but would you take Gyökeres? Do you know how to utilize him and whatnot? Do you think he can play in your system? That would have been yes. And people want to say, oh, Gyökeres can't play in the system and that. Bro, even just watching him, you can see how he can. You can see, bro, certain men that are not goal scorers are bagging goals for our football club. Give the man a chance. And also, there's this rhetoric that Arteta is not going to change his tactics or tailor it to the player. Pep Guardiola had to, the majority of the things are the same, but he had to tailor to Haaland. And away from that, we keep saying Arteta needs to evolve the system. So it's going to change anyways. It's down for Gyökeres to adapt. It's down for Arteta to adapt. But I feel like there's too much statistic and all of this with half of these strikers. Man, do all that crap with his Man, I'm talking about half spaces and shit, which they're all key parts. But for me, just get me a striker, bro. And Gyökeres would tell me the club. I want to pick my words wisely, but the club would tell me, you know what, we're kind of in deliver now. He's 26, turning 27. We hope that he can get 15, 20 league goals as a minimum. We hope Saka stays fit. We know what he does. Nico Williams, superstar potential, all that kind of jazz. Boom. Should have already secured Napan if you're asking me, but we're on this Zubimendi sweepstakes thing. I hear it, man, but at the same time, we also hear Napan has said, I want to wait till the summer to make my decision. So all we can do is indirectly talk with his advisors, see what a contract would look like, see if he's genuinely on signing for us, pitch what we can pitch, ensure that whatever money his club are asking for, we can pay that and it makes sense for everyone. And just stay by the phone, really, and be able to pivot. If you can't get him, find the next kind of young G. Say we sign Gyökeres, how many goals do you think he bags first season? I need 15, 20, bro. I need 15, 20. Gyökeres was one bright point for Sporting in their match against us. Anyone saying he won't bag is clueless. When you got a proper star striker, every manager will tweak his system to suit them. Even the most average managers know system should revolve in your number. That, bro, and whatever way we shape it, brother, you're going to be in the box. At some point, no matter what, you're going to be in the box. Because as much as I cry about all this stuff, you're going to be in the box. Can you put the ball in the back of the net? I think so. You've had some good experiences in your career in England, some bad ones. Announce yourself to the world, because you did your thing at Coventry, but you announced yourself to the world, pardon me, at Sporting. So I'm sure you're going to want to hit the ground running and do your thing. Gyökeres all day, every day. Sesko ain't even my third choice for a striker. Dang. I'm not confident in Madrid, but honestly, they're there for the taking. They like us have documented problems that haven't been resolved. Question, DG, we qualify versus Real, but we have to give Liverpool the guard of honor. Then, of course, I mean, I think Liverpool should be given the guard of honor regardless. Like, I'm not one of them fans. I don't give a monkeys about the guard of honor. You know, this is sport. You go to war, and whatever way you shape it, it's got nothing to do with Liverpool why we didn't win the league beyond the obvious. And whatever way, they were the better men. They won. They deserved it. If you don't want to be in that situation, make sure the shoe's on the other foot. And it was a reality where we're going to Anfield. Like, give them their plaudits. Try win the game at Anfield, because we'll be no pressure Arsenal by then, and it'd be amazing. You have to. We've got bigger problems. The star boys need to sign new deals. We've got Marino's done well, but look at like the fact of him playing up front, we're relying on two kids, injuries galore, question marks for Arteta in the creative aspect. Need to do bare things in the market. Hoping Berta can do a thing. They not won another trophy after the FA Cup. There's many more problems than this guard of honor, bro. Like, I'll be so serious. Like, do that. I've seen my club have to do that for Van Persie. So if there was any pain, it is what it is. Gyökeres will bag 15 pence. But I don't think you're getting 15 pennies at Arsenal. But I don't care how you do it, just score. I don't mind giving it for the first game as a champion, but every game to the end of the season is a bit much. To be fair, I hear that. But if we were on the other foot and we won the league, I don't know about you, my broski, but for me, everybody, I want it everywhere, every game. I want to be announced. I'm the champions. I want everyone from Newcastle to Chelsea to Spuds to this to that. I would want that. You should. Obviously, I do think it's a bit much and whatnot. I think you should get what I genuinely think at all clubs. The next game you play after confirm, But I want it from everyone, so we have to hold that. And it would be too much, but we need too much. Agame's cold still. Finally finding his feet, in my opinion. So it seems like you lot on the Gyokeres thing. I want Hatto. I want bare things, man. Whether we're gonna do it or not is a completely different entity, man. But yeah, I want everything, bro. I'm coming for everything. I want everything. Next year we have to win something, man. We deserve a parade, man. We need a parade. League Cup, FA Cup. Love, of course. Love the champs in the Prem. There needs to be a party in North London. It will never end. It will be bigger than Carnival. It'll be bigger than Carnival. We need that. I think we deserve that. Nottingham Forest have been relinked with Gyokeres as well. So as well as heavy Arsenal links, Saudi, PSG, Atletico, Nottingham Forest. My point being, everybody wants to sign everyone. We ain't got a free hit at Nico Williams or Gyokeres or even Sesko, even going back off last summer. Or if Isaac, as stupid as it is, becomes available, or this Napan guy, or Zubamendi, whether they're emerging stars, established stars, stars of tomorrow, people seeing if contracts don't get signed. Everyone wants everyone. So that's why I keep saying, just make sure we can pivot. All that matters is pivoting. You can't get Gyokeres, get Sesko. You can't get Sesko, get Isaac. Obviously, I'm exaggerating. You can't get Isaac, get something else. But don't let the window end and you ain't got striker. Because I don't want to hear we tried and whatnot. Yeah, I can hear that we're imbalanced. But we've seen what happens when you're too cautious, when you don't sign anyone. And especially after the summer we had last year, let alone January, you owe it to the fans to move serious, man. You owe it to yourselves because it's all in vain. All the hard work, you're closer to achieving your goals than you are further away. So what's the point now messing about? Anyone telling me we can't use a striker with that level of ability in the transition is overthinking things. Soon as my man gets on the ball, he's a threat to run that goal. Napan should be a priority signing. He'd be better than Odegaard in probably 6 months after landing. Seen that already, bro. Just get these guys in. And even if the Napan thing doesn't bang, yeah, I don't know if it's true, but if you sign him for 3 million odd quid, yeah, and it doesn't bang, let's just say he becomes a player that's worth 13 or 20 or 30 million. Keep it moving. Obviously, I'm not against stars of tomorrow, you know, like I think you should always be future-proof in trying to do that. But not at it sounds like I'm spoiled, but not at the expense of doing things right now. If you get guys that are ready, like Zubamendi, Nico Williams, Gyokeres, these ones that are more than likely going to play major parts in another title challenge and get over the line, do that. And also buy your stars of tomorrow. City do that. They bought Marmoush for now. They bought Viktor Gyokeres for kind of the short, medium, and the long term. And they bought that other that Achaverdi guy, and he's back he's joined them in January now. And I don't know if he'll go on loan or whatever. If he progresses to the first team, great. If not, they're set. He's being sold. Big up my guy Rashid, man. One love for coming through on the platform yesterday. Go and check out that live stream after this, people. That's a successful signing. Who are you referring to? Hatto, Gyokeres, Napan, Williams, Zubamendi, Simmons, get all the players. I don't think we're going to get Shafi Simmons, but I don't mind. Oh, sorry, seen that already. Just get things done, man. Just get things done. That's all I want to see. The Church of Napan is progressing. What would be your strategy for Madrid? Pray, bro. I don't think you can have a strategy for them. I do think you need to move the ball quickly. I've seen nothing to suggest that's going to be the case. I do think they can be got at in general on the transitions. I do think they have hairy moments, but again, it's Real Madrid. I think it comes down to desire and hunger and how you react to setbacks. And are you going to be intimidated? These lot have been there, done it, and wore the t-shirt. I think it's stats, statistics, and systems and all that play a part. But I also don't want to sound like a passion merchant. I think it comes down to just who wants it more. Turn 3 million into 20 million. If you could do that all the time, you'd be one of the richest men ever. True. The priority signings should be players that will be the stars in the now. Then we go for the Napans, the Hattos after all they're sorted. I hear it. I want Hatto though, man. I want Hatto. I want Hatto tomorrow. Out of all the guys we're linked with here, I'd love to get Hatto. And actually, what I really want Sesko or Gyokeres, one of the two, man. Obviously, expectations and ability and all of that is different, but I really want both. I really want either one. I'm really excited about probably signing Gyokeres. And if it don't work out, cool. No signings work out all the time. Go get another one. Just make sure you tailor the deal for the fee and obviously the wages. That if we have to do other things, we do other things. We aren't going to get right now players. Then we're going to have to see. We looked for a midfielder for now and we got Marino. After living out, man. After living out. Get me the Wonder Kids. The rest of this stuff is foolish chatter. To be fair though, they're gonna get the reborn Wonder Kids. We'll have to see, man. I just want players, bro. I'll be real. I just want players. I just want to feel I got the depth, feel I got the quality, and then we move. Nothing's guaranteed, but I just want to know we've put our best foot forward. Then I can say, you know what, fair enough. Because we all know the summer was dead. January was dead. There's not really been any high moments this season, unfortunately. Yeah, beat City, playing Real Madrid, top 6 records still there, but there's nothing to celebrate. And it's not, and this year hasn't been a year where we felt like we're building towards something. Last year, cool, fair enough, give or take. You feel like you're really on the cusp. This is progression or stagnation, or complacency, or all three. Take your pick. And that's the reality, like. But on that note, though, man, we've been here for 45 minutes. I don't want to bore you lot on the Sunday. Tomorrow, more live streams. Again, turn on your notification bells. Content doesn't stop, people. We've got Real Madrid this week. We've got Brentford, and I'm sure there'll be some transfer news. So, yeah, man, big up you lot for all your support, not just today, but if you're here all the time. If you're new here, subscribe. One love, man.